Sripad Naik ji. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I also welcome Secretary Tourism Shri Parvez Diwan and Secretary Culture Shri Ravindra Singh. Friends, today's press conference format will be: first, the Honorable Minister will make the opening remarks. This will be followed by unveiling of the new logo of the Ministry of Culture and the launch of revamped website of Ministry of Culture with the press of a button. And this will be followed by a launch of mobile application of Ministry of Culture, which will be done here only. Afterwards, there will be two brief PowerPoint presentations by the Secretary Tourism and Secretary Culture respectively. Thereafter, as usual, the forum is open for questions and answers. My humble request to all of you is to ask the questions one by one. And also, before asking the questions, please state your name and your organization. As usual, I would make a request: kindly switch off your mobiles or keep them on silent mode. Over to the Honorable Minister.
सभी पत्रकार भाई बहनों का मैं स्वागत करता हूं. Welcomes all of you. Friends, there has never been a time when tourism and culture sector have been accorded such high priority by the government of India. For the first time, this sector have found a special mention in Prime Minister's Independence Day speech. The Honorable Prime Minister is a firm believer in the significant role of culture and tourism in the economics and political growth of the country. The Honorable Prime Minister entrusted me with the charge of both culture and tourism ministries so that synergy between the two ministries can be used for the holistic development of the tourism industry, at the same time promoting our culture and preserving our heritage sites. Both of my ministries have been working in coordination in a number of areas such as conservation and protection of heritage sites, which enrich the experience of the tourist and turn increased tourist visits and repeat visits. Many initiatives have been started by both the ministries, and a number of positive achievements has been made. Rani Ki Vav in Gujarat and the Great Himalaya National Park in Himachal Pradesh were inscribed on the World Heritage List in June this year. Such inclusion generally guarantee an increase in international footfalls. The project Mausam, Maritime Routes and Cultural Landscape has been also launched. This new initiative of Ministry of Culture in its expected to enhance tourism as well as promote India's soft power. Both the ministries have also taken the initiative to work together, signifying a co-branding exercise under the Incredible India umbrella, and have jointly organized the Festival of India and roadshow for example, in China, in all the festivals organized by the Ministry of Culture. India tour operators are being encouraged to encash on the interest of the India created by this festival. On its part of the Ministry of the Tourism has played an active role in promoting the abroad cuisine from a different part of the country. Both my ministries are laying special emphasis in digitalizing the available data of process. As you will see, I'll be launching a new website and a logo of Ministry of Culture, mobile applications giving the details of cultural activities being organized by the various cultural institutions. We are also starting facilities for the online filing an application pertaining to various schemes of the Ministries of Culture and Tourism. Ministry of Culture has also become active on social media platform. Both my ministries have been putting into use of technology for service delivery to the stakeholder. Electronic visa on arrival has been announced. Tourism Ministry is upgrading its official website and has also begun work on translating into 8 international languages. Various services for the industries like hotel classification and recognition of our tour operator and travel agents are now online. Digital collection of the nearly 10,000 images in respect of the 10 selected museums of Jatan software has been undertaken, and the website museumofIndia.government.in is expected to be launched soon. This preservation and protection will not only conserve our national cultural heritage, but also promote and project our tourist sites, thereby enhancing tourism. As a substantive steps towards this objective of enhancing the tourism, rupees 100 crores have been allocated to ASI for preservation of archaeological sites. Besides, 2 new schemes have been announced for the development of the tourist circuit around the specific themes and national mission on pilgrimage rejuvenation and spiritual augmentation drive, that is Prasad, and an allocation of 500 crores and rupees 100 crores has been made respectively in the current financial year. In addition to this initiative, the Ministry of Tourism is developing Buddhist circuit and is also organizing the Buddhist conclave from 26 to 28 September 2014 at Bodh Gaya. On its parts, the Ministry of Culture is organizing the Buddhist festivals in East Asia, thus giving an impetus to Buddhist pilgrimage tourism in India from these countries. Friends, we are also organizing several commemoration in this year. Rupees 200 crores have been provided in this year's budget for the Statue of Unity, the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. With a view to developing meaningful interface with the state governments, we have undertaken a new initiative under which a draft memorandum of understanding has been circulated to all the state governments with a view to ensuring the hassle-free movement and in providing quality service in and around the various ASI sites. Above all, the Honorable Prime Minister has announced that 2015 will be celebrated as the Year of China in India, and 2016 will be celebrated as the Year of India in China. I look forward to your questions and constructive suggestions. Let me inform you that our objective is meeting today is to discuss the achievement of both my ministries during the last few months. So let us focus on the subject. My team of officers is here with me and will provide you the information wherever required. I thank you for your constructive support extended to my ministries and look forward to the fruitful interaction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister, sir. Kindly switch off the lights. Now the Minister will unveil the new logo. May I request you, sir? नहीं सर, ये करना है इस तरफ, नहीं ये नहीं, देखिए ये
हो गया?
Now the Minister will launch the revamped website of the Ministry of Culture. Now the Honorable Minister will launch the mobile application of the Ministry of Culture. Please. Please. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, may I request the honorable secretaries to make their PowerPoint presentations, starting with Secretary Tourism. You can do it for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to, this is the outline of the presentation we plan to make next. This is the mandate which I think most of you are aware of. The main thing is inclusive growth. Agla. This is the vision, the next 5 years. The first line is the important one, that we have achieved about 0.64%, a little more than that. The vision is to achieve 1% of world tourist arrivals. And I believe we are on the way, because our growth in the last couple of years, especially this year, has been much higher than the world average. Next. Now we will show you how we are going towards the future goals. You see, this is a very unique thing, that while in competitive ranking we are as bad as 68, in foreign tourist arrivals we are 40-something, but in terms of money earning we are number 16, and in per capita spend we are in the top 3, if not number 1. So, because some people say we are number 1, maybe not number 1. Costa Rica probably is number 1. We are in the top 3. Domestic tourism, which is 99 point something, is growing very fast. Next. The last 3 months we have seen unusually high growth. Last month, foreign travel tourist arrivals were 16.9% higher. The last 3 months we've had very high growth. At this rate, God willing, we will be well above 7 million this year. So well above means well above. 7.3 million is a conservative. Last year we were I should talk in lakhs. Last year we were 69.7 lakh. This year we are expecting minimum 73 lakh, minimum. Growth has really gone up this year. To 2014, you've got the figures both in number of people coming and in foreign exchange. Foreign exchange last month we grew at 26.8%, which is higher than the world average by several times. Foreign tourist arrivals, according to UNWTO, was 4.6, and now it is, I think, 5, almost 5. Our country is growing at 7.4%, which is 1.5 times the world average. Next, among the major achievements of our government, among the biggest is that the government asked us to identify 50 tourism circuits, which the Honorable Minister has done. The 2 new schemes have been announced, developing 5 tourist circuit centers around specific themes, and National Mission Prasad, that is for the rejuvenation, pilgrimage rejuvenation. 50 circuits have been identified. Our Honorable Minister, you know that our northern state, Kashmir, the northern state, Jammu and Kashmir, has gone through some very difficult times. Our minister sent me yesterday to survey the damage personally, and I have handed over on our minister's behalf a letter to the state government assuring them of assistance of 100 crore rupees. As you will remember, the ministry did something similar for Uttarakhand last year. Strategies, so if I may say so, ours was the first ministry to do this. It's a proactive ministry, and our minister sensed the problem immediately and sanctioned it within 1 day. Strategies for the integrated development of the core Buddhist circuits has been launched. It is a very, very comprehensive and futuristic strategy. Ganga rejuvenation. Our role is the development of the Banaras Ghats, Varanasi Ghats, and we are well on our way on it. We are on schedule. Project for the, at Mormugao, our Honorable Minister has already launched a project for the construction of a new passenger terminal. Next, As far as publicity, promotion, and marketing is concerned, our biggest thrusts are the Buddhist circuit and the Northeastern circuit, and my colleague, Secretary Culture. The Culture Ministry also has exactly the same objectives. So next week we have the Buddhist conclave in Bodh Gaya, and 3 weeks from now we have the International Tourism Mart for the Northeast. In case some of you missed the press release, in the Northeast the results of our conclaves are unbelievable. Manipur international tourism has gone up by 154%, Arunachal by 111%. I can count all the states. Mizoram, which we feel did not do as well as the rest, got 7.5% growth, which was 1.5 times the national average and almost twice the world average. So the results have been very good. TV commercials for the Northeastern region and Jammu and Kashmir have been produced. Jammu and Kashmir, we are going to now readjust it to deal with the new situation. For your information, they feel that they can get back into operation by the middle of next month. We're waiting for the date. So when we do that, our TV commercial will suitably reflect that. 9 city maps have been uploaded on our official website. We have organized road shows again in partnership with the Ministry of Culture in China, and in USA and Europe we've also had road shows. We are formulating India tourism marketing representatives, which means through the private sector, through outsourcing rather than through government employees. Agla, safe and honorable tourism is the biggest concern of our ministry, and our minister took a very big step by calling all the state tourism ministers last month, and some very good decisions were taken to ensure the safety of all tourists, domestic or foreign, but especially women. Skill development is another very major thrust area, and very big achievements have taken place. Just as the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, tied up, I think, with MIT, and today every Indian is proud of them, the IIMs. Every Indian is proud of the IITs. You will have similar reason to be proud of the IHMs, Institutes of Hotel Management, all over India. We have tied up through an expression of interest. We had negotiations with the top 3 hotel schools of the world, and number 1 has been selected. Our Honorable Minister launched that tie-up. India being the second biggest country in the world, we did not have an Indian Culinary Institute. Again, our minister blessed the laying of the foundation stone of the ICI at Tirupati 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. We have decided to set up a sector skill council, again in consultation with the industry. Hunar Se Rozgar remains one of our biggest achievements. We have trained 11,367 people in the financial year so far. Now, all of us are sitting in Shastri Bhavan. You know that India has had the great surveys of India, the Anthropological Survey of India, Archaeological Survey of India, Linguistic Survey of India, Geographical, Botanical. I think one of the biggest steps the government has taken after independence, I think this is probably the first survey of India after independence, is the Culinary Survey of India. It was launched on the same day as the Indian Culinary Institute 2 weeks ago. We wanted to meet the 100 days target. And it was launched with 600 recipes to begin with. The goal is every single recipe in India, every single distinct recipe in India. 600 recipes, we have launched it about two or 3 weeks ago, just before the 100 days target. A very big thing is that India is now going to concentrate, in keeping with the national objective, on the China market. And for that, we realize that there is a very big shortage of Chinese-speaking guides. So we've had a very big launch already. The Chinese Tourist Facilitation Training course for executives of operators, we've started that. For next year, our goal is that we will not expect them to come to us for training. We will go to them for the training. And secondly, the training will be at a time that suits them, maybe evening, because they want to earn their daily bread, maybe the summers when they don't have much work. Um, we've also launched a 6-month certificate, not in four, we've launched 4 6-month certificate courses in 4 hospitality trades. Next. As part of the government's vision that ease of living in India, ease of doing business in India has to be increased greatly, we have had some very radical changes in our system. Firstly, we decided that service of alcohol is not going to be compulsory to get a 5-star hotel, a 5-star license or 5-star deluxe license, or even 4-star, All we want you is that if we classify that you are 5-star in every other way, you will write on your website 5-star within brackets clearly no alcohol, no alcohol service. That's a very big thing. You will in your mind link it with Kerala? No. This decision was taken before the Kerala decision because there has been a demand from several states, including Tamil Nadu, that if we delink it, the hotel industry will have a greater ease of mind. The very big, the biggest reform is that the classification system and reclassification system, the number of certificates that you have to give to us has been reduced to almost 2 or 3, rather than a plethora of certificates. The exact number will be decided in a few days, but then the biggest decision in this, our minister has taken that then it will become very easy now. And of course, it will be online, as the Honorable Minister said. Bed and breakfast, we are incentivizing, by listing them on our website so that they get business. They can't afford their own website, so they're getting it through us. And we are having sensitization workshops on the bed and breakfast scheme, organized in all states and UTs. Again, because we want to spread employment. Niche tourism. Actually, in some things, we can all as Indians be proud. What used to be called niche tourism even 2 years ago, medical tourism, is no longer niche. We are proud that today India is among the top 3 in the world in medical tourism. We don't have the exact figure of whether we are number 1, 2 or 3, but I think we are number 2 in the world in medical tourism. What started as niche has become mainstream. So we have this, one of the biggest achievements of the last 100 days is that we have prepared comprehensive sustainable tourism criteria for India, one of the few countries in this. We've also conducted a workshop on this subject. We have revised guidelines for the promotion of golf tourism. Guidelines for promotion of wellness and medical tourism have been revised. A very big announcement that our minister made last week, and some newspapers got it in the right perspective. Thank you, all of you. This is one of the biggest achievements, one of the biggest bang theory of the present government, that satellite phones are now going to be allowed for adventure tourism, which really means for the Himalayas, but also maybe Lakshadweep, maybe Andamans, wherever you don't have a cell phone network. The Home Ministry has sent us a letter giving what is in effect an in-principle approval, but now we have to, for the next, I won't say 100 days, but for the first 6 months of this government, we will now make the guidelines for this. The guidelines are now being made, but an in-principle decision has been taken. Next, use of technology for service delivery. The Honorable Minister has mentioned that already. The biggest of them, I would say, the biggest of all decisions of the last few months has been, because it's more than 100 days now, is the electronic visa on arrival decision. The deadline is 31st March, but we all know that we have to achieve it much before that. Much before that. The deadline is the end of the current budget year. On our website, we have got a very large number of online services, which many of you have attended our press conferences. We have got walking tours, audio tours, holiday planners, 360-degree views of monuments we have done with Google, which they did for the Ministry of Culture, and we have used them. It was a collaborative thing between us. Another thing is, as the Honorable Minister pointed out, our website is no longer going to be in just English, Hindi. Right now it's in English, Hindi and Korean for some reason. And Korea, of course, we get good results. So now it's going to be in all the major languages of the world. All the major languages. We've gone through tourism figures. Only Portuguese is not here because Brazil and Portugal put together, we debated, the numbers did not add up. All the major languages are here. An online financial accounting system is being implemented by our overseas offices. Some of you attended the press conference where we launched the mobile application for listing of classified hotels and recognized tour operators and travel agents. It's a GPS-friendly application. You are in Rajgir. You want to know if there's anybody. You are in Guwahati. You want to know if there's any Chinese, Korean-speaking guide. You will be told the nearest is in Kohima. There's just one person who speaks, one guide who speaks Korean in all of the Northeast. He's in Kohima. You will get that. Institute management system for IHMs and FCIs. We have an online computerized system being prepared. Next, market research. We have taken some very good studies. 2 baseline studies have been conducted on domestic tourism expenditure and international passengers. Estimates of the contribution of tourism to the GDP and employment have been finalized for 2012-13. One of the biggest things for every Indian is that our country should be a cleaner country. Our Prime Minister emphasized this in his Independence Day speech. So what we are doing is, we are preparing a cleanliness index. The methodology has been finalized. What we will do is, we will not tell you which are the 5 dirtiest cities of India. We will certainly tell you which are the 5 cleanest cities, 5 cleanest destinations. We will give you the whole list. At the bottom, you will find some, you can make a story out of it, but we will not say they are the dirtiest. I hope they will feel shamed that next year, we should not be the dirtiest, we should be the second dirtiest, at least. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary, sir. Now I request Culture Secretary to make his presentation.
Namaskar and welcome. Next, please. This government has formulated the vision statement for Ministry of Culture, which is to preserve, promote and share India's culture and heritage, along with its ethos and values, both within India and abroad for the benefit of mankind. Next, please. The ministry's mandate and organizations is basically for tangible culture, which is built heritage, intangible culture, which is theatre, music, song, dance, folklore, writing, etc., and knowledge resource centers, which is we have a number of research institutes. So, and we have almost 50 organizations in the ministries. We've introduced a system of MOUs with all our organizations. You can click that just to give an idea, yeah. So we have, these are the organizations which you can see: archives, anthropological survey, which are knowledge resource, etc. Next, please. Next. So these were the challenges which were there before the government. One was to build brand India and promote India's soft power. The other was outreach through new technologies, which is basically digitization. Then conservation and effective management of protected monuments. And the last was preservation of performing, visual and literary arts and also folk traditions. Next, please. So in that context, first was promoting India's soft power abroad, and we took these up through Festivals of India under the Incredible India brand with the Ministry of Tourism. So we branded, as it were, we tried that instead of having separate ministries, we would do it under the Incredible India brand, because in India, I mean, when you're abroad, you're not familiar which is which ministry. And these are some of the ideas which brand India. One was, of course, you can see Buddhism, there's Indian film, there's cricket, there's yoga, there's Indian cuisine, Gandhiji. So these were some of the brands which symbolize India and which we tried to project through our festivals, besides all our performing arts. And we did these very successfully. The focus was on East Asia, on BRICS countries, which is China and South Africa. And we did a very large number of countries, covering a very large segment of the population through media and so on. Next, please. So these are the details of the festivals where they were organized, and we've done them in China. Now we're going to do them in Japan and Indonesia. South Africa is going on at the moment. And the SAARC Culture Ministers Conference will also be held in New Delhi on the 24th and 25th with a Sark traditional dance festival. Next. Then in Softwa, you've heard on World Heritage how Rani Ki Vav and the Great Himalayan National Park have also been inscribed. For 2016, we are targeting yoga for inscription because this is one of India's greatest legacies, which is recognized all over the world. And in 2014-18, we have been nominated to be on the Intergovernmental Committee of UNESCO for the safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage, which we won by a resounding majority. Then recently we have launched in June in UNESCO what is called Project Mausam. So this basically uses the Indian Ocean world and focuses on how the monsoon and manipulation of the monsoon developed this whole region both in cultural, economic and religious terms, and whether it was trade or tourism or other aspects of life. So this is what binds countries in the region, from indentured labor to religions like Buddhism or transport of technology from India for temple building, etc. So this project has received a huge response, and we are going to have an international seminar also in February in Goa. But this is really focusing on our neighbors, as it were, in the Indian Ocean world. Next. So digitization, we are launching a website on the 10,000 objects initially from all our museums. So you will see the 10,000 best objects from our museums is ready for launch, and we hope to launch it very shortly. Then the website has been launched today also. Then over 1 lakh antiquities have been launched on the National Monuments, Mission on Monuments, the photographs of over 1 lakh registered antiquities in the country. Now you can see them visually. And digitization of archives has also been taken up as a critical areas project. Interestingly, we had about 50 lakh documents in our archives, and recently, just about a week back, we've succeeded in getting 10 lakh documents from Ministry of Home along with the building. And similarly, we have got 3 lakh from Ministry of External Affairs, and we have trained almost 2,000 people, officials in the last couple of months in archiving, so that the file movement from all the ministries has greatly increased, and for depositing with National Archives of India. Next. And e-governance, we are ready for launch of a online processing of applications. That means in the ministry there used to be a lot of complaints that people said, I have applied for certain schemes, I don't know whether I've been considered, what is the status of my application. So that is also ready for launch. Mobile app was launched today, by which you can know what are the cultural programs going on in different parts of the city. Today was a smaller launch because we've done it for the metros and we are doing it only for limited organizations, but eventually we hope to cover all public organizations in this website. And the revamped website of the ministry to make it more citizen-friendly has been launched today. Next. Then for heritage sites as tourist attractions, as well as to conserve our culture, 100 crores additional has been allocated to ASI for preservation of these monuments, and the work is going on. We've also taken up work in Pashupatinath in Kathmandu, for which work will start once we get the funds. Then this decision was taken very recently in PM's visit to Nepal, and we have moved the proposal to MEA. Then the work of ASI at Kedarnath Temple is in full swing. We also plan to introduce e-ticketing facilities in our monuments. Minister has given us a target to start this within this financial year. Then to involve state governments, a model MOU with ASI has been circulated to all state governments for creation of tourism-friendly and citizen-centric facilities around monuments, because there are a lot of restrictions and state governments have a problem in getting approval. So we made a simplified system for delegating these authorities to the local level, these powers to the local level. Then Minister along with us visited Agra, and we have made a special plan, again in collaboration with the state government of UP, for improving the facilities in the Taj, to look at the possibility of night viewing of the Taj Mahal, and to improve visitor amenities, as well as to make a visitor center out there, to have a Mughal museum out there, etc., etc. And tourist circuits, we are working, Secretary Tourism has also told you about them, how we are working jointly in the Northeast Buddhist circuits, Himalayan circuits, and other circuits for improving our cultural sites. Next. The Gandhi Peace Prize was awarded this year after many years. Then this issue keeps on arising that we have a lot of vacancies in the ministry. So we were very successful recently that we got two stays vacated. The anthropological survey had been stayed, there was a stay order for almost the last 10 years. Similarly, Salar Jung had a problem. So these are the vacancies, all of them are in process. They have been advertised and we are in the process of filling them up. So we will have, after I think decades, we will have a situation where hopefully Ministry of Culture, all the heads of organizations would be filled. Some are with UPSC, some are with other organizations. Then our academies, there were a lot of issues involved with the academies. The High Car Committee had been set up, it's given its recommendations. We are under the process of implementing these recommendations, which is for Lalit Kala, Sahayata Agency, etc., etc. And museums also, a lot of you would have been to National Museum or other museums in the country. There is a reform program and there's a visible change and an enhanced visitor footfall also to the museums, which is the true test. Next. Besides, ministry is also mandated with commemorations. This year we are doing 3. One is on 29th September and 7th October, respectively, for Komagata Maru and the birth centenary of Begum Akhtar. These will be launched. The 125th birth anniversary of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is also to be celebrated this year. And also we are considering the proposal, the budget announcement was made by the finance minister for a statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, which is being done by the Statue of Unity by the government of Gujarat, for which we also announced that we will give 200 crores, and we have received the proposal from government of Gujarat and we have finalized our views and we are sending them to the Ministry of Finance. So this is broadly a roundup of the activities of the ministry. And as you have seen, the minister had insisted that we give a strategic direction to the way the ministry thinks and not only be involved in small issues, and to collaborate with tourism, which has been our biggest focus. So thank you.
Thank you, Secretary, sir. And now the floor is open for questions. Who would like to, yeah, please.
नमस्कार, मैं श्रीराम जोशी महाराष्ट्र के पुरानी अखबार से। जैसा कि आपने अभी कहा, जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी का भी जिक्र किया है और आपने सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल का भी जिक्र किया है। अगले महीने से नानाजी देशमुख जी की जन्मशती शुरू हो रही है, जिन्होंने चित्रकूट में एक बहुत बड़ा अभियान चलाया, आप जानते ही है, आपके पार्टी के ही वो रहे हैं। और क्या आपकी मिनिस्ट्री के थ्रू ये पूरे वर्ष में लोगों को स्वच्छ ग्राम और वो जो सारी बुनियादी शिक्षाएं वहाँ जो दी जाती है, उसका दर्शन कराने के लिए पर्यटन का कोई कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया जाएगा?
सबसे पहले मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि कई बातें ऐसी होती हैं कि तुरंत ध्यान में नहीं आती। आपने सुझाव दिया है और निश्चित तौर से नानाजी ऐसे एक बड़ा व्यक्तित्व था, इन्होंने समाज के लिए बहुत कुछ किया है और इसलिए इसके बारे में हम निश्चित तौर से विचार करके ये कार्यक्रम करने में इच्छुक होंगे।
सर, लगातार 1% से नीचे हमारी है जो वर्ल्ड टूरिस्ट आते हैं। पॉपुलेशन में हम दूसरे नंबर पे हैं, एरिया में 7वें नंबर पे हैं। क्यों इतना हो रहा? छोटे देश हमसे ज़्यादा टूरिस्ट अटैक कर रहे हैं। लगातार कोशिश, हमारे हेरिटेज बड़ी बुरी स्थिति में है, उसको ऊपर कोई ध्यान नहीं दिया जा रहा। सबसे बड़ी कारण ये हो सकता है।
ये तो बहुत से कारण है भाई साहब, कि ये कारण हम ढूंढते हैं। छोटी बातें होती है और अराइवल ऑफ टूरिस्ट जो है वो कम हो जाता है और इसीलिए जो कुछ कारण है, बहुत से कारण है, वो कारण हम ढूंढ रहे हैं। और एक बात मैं आपसे कह सकता हूँ कि इसी पिछले 2-3 महीनों में फॉरेन टूरिस्ट की अराइवल जो बहुत परसेंटेज मोर देन 10% बढ़ गई है और यही प्रयास से हम जो आपके मन में वो वहाँ तक लाने की कोशिश करेंगे।
सर, दिस इज सालविया फ्रॉम डीडी न्यूज़। लास्ट टाइम जब सिक्योरिटी और इश्यूज को लेकर बात होती है तो टूरिज्म पुलिस की बात हुई थी, अनाउंसमेंट हुई थी, उसको लेकर अभी तक क्या काम हुआ है एंड व्हिच ऑल स्टेट्स हैव कम फॉरवर्ड विद प्रोवाइडिंग टूरिज्म पुलिसिंग?
टूरिज्म पॉलिसी के बारे में जैसा अच्छा सॉरी थोड़ा सा समझने में मुश्किल है। हमने एक कन्वेंशन लिया था, उस कन्वेंशन में सभी हमारे राज्य और स्टेट के टूरिज्म मिनिस्टर आए थे और इसलिए जो कुछ करना है वो राज्यों से करना है। हमने उसकी रिक्वेस्ट की है कि सिक्योरिटी एक अहम मुद्दा है और इसलिए ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी होती है सबकी, स्टेट की, सेंटर की, और इसलिए ये मुद्दा जल्दी से जल्दी ये करने के लिए, और जैसा आपने कहा कि ये पुलिस फोर्स हो या ये वो, ये सब स्टेट के लिए हमने बोला है। जो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस उनको चाहिए हम केंद्र से दे देंगे।
तो अभी तक कौन-कौन से स्टेट्स आए हैं कहीं पर रिस्पांस हुआ है क्या टूरिज्म पुलिस का जो है? लास्ट टाइम जब मीटिंग हुई थी तो यूपी में कुछ स्टेट वगैरह में बात हुई।
2 स्टेट का हमारे पास चर्चा हुई है। पहले कश्मीर, जम्मू कश्मीर, दूसरा गोवा, और उनका डिस्कशन चलता है। आशा करेंगे कि जल्दी से जल्दी वो लोग हमारे पास आके वो पॉलिसी हम तय करें।
मंत्री जी, पिछले साल केदारनाथ में बड़ी आपदा आई थी और उसके बाद आपका डिपार्टमेंट वहाँ काम कर रहा है। अब तक कितना रेस्टोरेशन का वर्क हो चुका है?
ASI जो है वहाँ का काम अभी भी चालू है। कम से कम 350 करोड़ रुपया उसको अलर्ट हुए थे, और अब तक हमने कम से कम 3.5 करोड़, हमने 1.35 करोड़ वहाँ अभी तक खर्चा किए हैं। एक थोड़ा सा मुद्दा है कि जो अंडरग्राउंड जो काम है वो वहाँ के IIT मद्रास को वो दे दिया है। एक ग्रुप उनका आके चला गया और दूसरा ग्रुप अगले महीने में आएगा, और अंडरग्राउंड काम जो है वो सर्वे के बाद ही किया जाएगा। इसलिए थोड़ा सा काम तो चालू है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा इसके लिए रुका हुआ है, और इनका रिपोर्ट आने के बाद फुल स्पीड काम शुरू करेंगे।
Sabina Indrajit from Infa. You mentioned about Sardar Patel's statue, which is about 200 crores. You've also mentioned the fact that there's going to be celebrations of the Nehru centenary, 125 years birth anniversary. What are the projects that you have in mind for this kind of celebration, especially for Nehru's 125 years anniversary? And vis-a-vis tourism, the question is that Goa seems to be inundated by the Russian tourists a lot. And there has been a major problem which is emerging now in Goa, is that the drugs is a major factor. Is there some way that the tourism ministry is trying to see how they can curtail this problem?
एक बात तो मैं बोलूँगा बाद में, रिगार्डिंग द जो रशियन टूरिस्ट जो है, ऐसी कोई ये बड़ा कठिन, ये ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। स्थिति कंट्रोल में है। राज्य सरकार लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के इसमें सब कुछ हैंडल कर रही है, और बाकी कुछ ये करने की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है।
सर, मैं अतुल, CNBC आवाज़।
नेहरू जी के लिए वी हैव पहले से 20 करोड़ रुपया स्वीकृत है, और उसमें जो है मुख्य कार्य जो हैं वो नेहरू पोर्टल के हैं, एज वेल एज लुकिंग एट हिज पेपर्स एट द रेनोवेशन ऑफ द नेहरू मेमोरियल ट्रस्ट एटसेट्रा, एंड पब्लिशिंग बुक्स एटसेट्रा।
सर, मैं अतुल, CNBC आवाज़ से। सर, ये मानसरोवर यात्रा के लिए नया रूट खुलने से एक तो अभी यात्रियों की तादाद क्या है सर, और कितनी बढ़ने की उम्मीद है इस नए रूट के खुलने से? दूसरा सवाल ये सर, वीज़ा की बड़ी समस्या आती है मानसरोवर यात्रियों के लिए, तो उनके लिए क्या किया जाएगा वीज़ा के मामले में?
माफ कीजिए, दूसरा पहला तो आपने मानसरोवर का कहा था।
जी, उसी मानसरोवर यात्रियों के लिए वीज़ा की प्रॉब्लम काफ़ी आती है उन यात्रियों के लिए।
हाँ, ये तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स का सवाल है, लेकिन हम सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। ऐसे कोई अड़चन आए तो हम इंटरवीन होंगे उसमें। और दूसरा सवाल आपने पूछा था रूट के बारे में। मेरे ख्याल से ये रूट जो है, पूरा रास्ता इस रूट पे बन जाएगा, गाड़ी से आप मानसरोवर तक जा सकेंगे। ये है उसमें। यात्री की संख्या तो कल ही डिक्लेयर हुआ है। कई दिनों के बाद हम आपके पास आ सकते हैं।
मिनिस्टर, आई एम
और इसलिए मेरे ख्याल से उन्होंने डिसीजन लेना है कब करना है, क्या करना है, और लोगों को समझा के, लोगों को मिलके उन्होंने आगे जाना चाहिए। नहीं, जरा थोड़ा सा देखेंगे ना, तो हम भी कोई वही तो हम वो अभी बताने से, थोड़े से दिन जाने दो ना, तो हमको पता चलेगा 2 महीने के बाद लिकर बैन के बाद केरला में टूरिस्ट ज्यादा है कम है, 1-2 महीना दे दो हमको बस। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
जी सर, अनु जैन बोल रही हूँ आज तक न्यूज़ चैनल से। जैसा कि मोदी जी ने भी बहुत कल बहुत स्पेसिफिकली बोला है कि अब कैलाश मानसरोवर पर आप बाय कार जा सकते हैं, जो नया रूट बन रहा है। लेकिन जो इसका एक ट्रेजेडी जो साथ जुड़ी जाती है, जब बाय कार लोग जाते हैं तो जो तीर्थ स्थल है वो पिकनिक स्पॉट ज़्यादा बन जाते हैं,
और जिस तरह से केदारनाथ में हुआ और जम्मू कश्मीर में भी हम देख रहे हैं त्रासदी हुई है, कहीं ना कहीं है कि ओवरलोडेड बहुत हो जाते हैं ऐसे स्पॉट। तो उस तरफ आप लोगों का ध्यान है कि आप बाय कार शुरू कर रहे हैं कि इस तरह की त्रासदी वहां ना घटे लेटर ऑन जब वो रूट बने। सेकंड मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि बीच में एक प्रपोजल आया था कि बाय शिप पटना से बनारस शुरू कर रहे हैं आप, गंगा में शिप कोई प्रोजेक्ट शुरू हो रहा है। कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स का ये मानना है कि वहाँ पे उस जो पूरा स्ट्रेच है वहाँ पे डॉल्फिन्स बहुत ज़्यादा हैं, सो क्या उनको नुकसान नहीं पहुँचेगा इससे? आपके पास कुछ ऐसे सुझाव आए हैं? थैंक यू।
नहीं, ये सब सर्वे रिपोर्ट लेने के बाद ही ऑलरेडी वो शुरू हो गया है और मेरे ख्याल से बोट चली तो डॉल्फिन पर कुछ खतरा नहीं है, ऐसा रिपोर्ट है। दूसरा मुद्दा जो आपका है कि सही कहा कि जब गाड़ियाँ चलती है रोड पे तो एक्सीडेंट तो स्वाभाविक है, तो ये कैसे हम कम करेंगे, इसके ऊपर कैसा हम काबू पाएंगे, इसके लिए तो व्यवस्था करनी पड़ेगी, उसमें हम ध्यान देंगे। या वो उसको सस्टेनेबल रखने के लिए प्रयास करना पड़ेगा, करेंगे।
आपसे एक सवाल है श्रीपाद जी। कई सालों से अपने देश में चर्चा होती रही कि एक नई संस्कृति नीति तैयार होगी, लेकिन आज तक कोई कल्चरल पॉलिसी नहीं बनी है। तो क्या बिना कल्चरल पॉलिसी के आप लोग कैसे काम करेंगे? आपकी नई सरकार आई है तो आप कैसी कल्चरल पॉलिसी बनाना चाहेंगे? नंबर एक। और दूसरा सवाल रविंद्र, जैसे कि बेगम अख्तर की जन्म शादी मनाई जा रही है तो उसमें क्या क्या हो रहा है, थोड़ा और डिटेल बताएंगे जरा।
विजन स्टेटमेंट जैसे मैंने पहले बताया था, तो पहले स्लाइड पे दिखा दिया था, तो विजन स्टेटमेंट में उसमें पूरा हमारे संस्कृति नीति किस और होनी चाहिए और हमारी कार्रवाई क्या होनी चाहिए, वो विजन स्टेटमेंट में हमने पहली बार ये बना है। और दूसरी बात, जहाँ तक बेगम अख्तर का है, तो कई सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रम है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स आर ऑल्सो बीइंग इन्वॉल्व्ड, direct grants are also being given to state governments to organize programs in her memory, and cultural programs are also being organized to celebrate her centenary. जी
7 अक्टूबर को एक विशेष प्रोग्राम होगा।
हाँ, दिल्ली में भी एक होगा, एक माननीय मंत्री जी विज्ञान भवन में ही विल हैव अ लॉन्च, दोनों कार्यक्रम, कोमागाटू मारू के लिए भी और बेगम अख्तर के लिए भी, दोनों के लिए लॉन्च माननीय मंत्री जी करेंगे, उसके साथ सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रम भी होंगे।
Sir, I'm Sanjeev from All India Radio. So my question is, what kind of steps your ministry is taking for the restoration of tourism in Jammu and Kashmir? Because these states is heavily dependent on the tourism. So what kind of steps are you being taken for the restoration of tourism in this state, sir?
जम्मू कश्मीर हमारा एक इंडिया का, हिंदुस्तान का बिगेस्ट टूरिस्ट स्पॉट है और इसलिए जिस तरह से वहाँ डिवेस्टेशन हुआ है ये बहुत बुरा है, सब जानते हैं, लेकिन किसी के हाथ में नहीं है। लेकिन फिर कैसे हम उसमें उभरे और सभी की ताकत लगा के फिर जम्मू और कश्मीर अपने पूर्व इस पर आ जाए, इसलिए जो मदद हमें केंद्र तो करेंगे, लेकिन हमने पहली मिनिस्ट्री है जो टूरिज्म मिनिस्ट्री जिन्होंने 100 करोड़ रुपया उनको दिए हैं और इसलिए जो फिर इसको उभारने के लिए जो कुछ और मदद लगेगी टूरिज्म मिनिस्ट्री सबसे आगे रहेगी।
सर, हिमांशी फ्रॉम टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, ये क्लीनलीनेस इंडेक्स के बारे में आप थोड़ा बताएंगे कि किस तरह से सिटीज़ को किस पैरामीटर्स पे जज किया जाएगा? सिर्फ टूरिस्ट स्पॉट्स पर ही क्या इंस्पेक्शंस होंगे और ये इनके नतीजे कब तक आएंगे?
आपसे ये मैंने निवेदन किया था कि अभी हमने जो इंडेक्स का गाइडलाइंस बना दिए हैं, कंप्लीट हो गए हैं, मार्केट रिसर्च डिवीजन ने पैरामीटर्स जो है चूज हो चुके हैं, बहुत लंबे हैं। आपको अगर आप अभी जानना चाहते हो वी कैन टेल यू राइट नाउ, पर इतना लंबा है कि आई वुड रादर गिव इट टू यू एज अ फोटो कॉपी, आज शाम आपको दे सकते हैं। और इसमें आपने कहा कि सिर्फ टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन होंगे, जी बाय एंड लार्ज, पर ऐसी कोई भी जगह नहीं है इंडिया में जिसको हम कह सकते हैं कि टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन नहीं है। मसलन आप भोपाल ले लीजिए, कौन कहेगा कि भोपाल में टूरिस्ट नहीं जाते हैं? कौन कहेगा कि पटना में टूरिस्ट नहीं जाते हैं? तो रियली स्पीकिंग, क्योंकि देखिए टूरिस्ट की परिभाषा में डोमेस्टिक टूरिस्ट भी है और रीजनल टूरिस्ट जो कि सिर्फ शॉपिंग के लिए जाता है वो भी आता है। तो टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन में आप तक माननीय मंत्री जी ने मुझे आदेश दिया कि एक तो म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज होनी चाहिए, एक पंचायत होने चाहिए, क्लीनर स्टेट टूरिस्ट, अच्छा नहीं, मंत्री जी ने कहा एक तो म्यूनिसिपैलिटी होनी चाहिए, पंचायत होने चाहिए, डेस्टिनेशंस होने चाहिए और मॉन्यूमेंट्स होने चाहिए, 4 कैटेगरीज। अच्छा, पैरामीटर्स जो है वो तो जाहिर है कि उसमें सफाई है कि नहीं, टूटे फूटे चीज़ें तो नहीं है, डिसरिपेयर है कि नहीं। इट्स अ वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग लिस्ट जो कि कंसल्टेंट ने बनाए हैं, और आप उसको फोटोकॉपी हम दे सकते हैं आपको, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
मंत्री जी, मैं श्रीकांत भाटिया हूँ। मंत्री जी, लास्ट टाइम आपकी मीटिंग हुई थी स्टेट मिनिस्टर्स के साथ, जो टूरिज्म मिनिस्टर्स थे। एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या आती है कि मोनूमेंट तो बहुत खूबसूरत आईटीडीसी या लोकल डिपार्टमेंट जो भी होते हैं वो बना देते हैं, लेकिन आप जब टूरिस्ट स्पॉट से बाहर आते हैं तो बाहर आके टूरिस्ट के दिमाग में बहुत ही गंदा इंप्रेशन न सिर्फ उस शहर का बल्कि पूरे हिंदुस्तान का जाता है कि बाहर क्या हालत है। अगर आप आगरा जाएं, मैं आगरे से ही हूँ, कम से कम 20-30 साल से मैं देख रहा हूँ वही स्थिति है। ताजमहल से आप बाहर निकलेंगे, आपको टाउट्स पकड़ लेते हैं, रिक्शे वाले, तांगे वाले, इतनी गंदगी है। तो ये स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जो आपकी बात हुई, तो क्या आपने कुछ ऐसे सजेशंस आए हैं या आपने उनको इंस्ट्रक्ट किया है कि उसको इस तरह करिए? और दूसरा, एक बड़ा अच्छा टूरिज्म हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट ने रूरल टूरिज्म शुरू किया था, शायद आपके डिपार्टमेंट ने उस पर ध्यान नहीं दिया, क्योंकि रूरल टूरिज्म की हिंदुस्तान में बहुत अधिक संभावना है। लोग आजकल बहुत रूरल टूरिज्म में रुचि ले रहे हैं।
एक बात है कि जहाँ कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लगा है हरियाणा, वो बात मैं नहीं कहूँगा। जो आगरा की बात आपने कही है, आपने जो कहा है वो सही है। इसलिए मैंने पहली विजिट हमारे दोनों सेक्रेटरी के साथ मैं वहाँ गया और वहाँ की स्थिति का जायजा ले लिया, और कई उपाय हमने उनके साथ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ मीटिंग वहाँ ले ली। किस तरह से जो रश होते हैं कैसे हम डाइवर्ट कर सकते हैं, कैसे रास्ते की स्थिति है, क्लीनलीनेस का कैसा प्रॉब्लम है, ये सब डिस्कस किया हुआ है और चालू है। और इसके लिए जो फंडिंग अब देंगे, कई कॉरपोरेट के लोग भी आए हैं कि वो स्वतः फंडिंग करने के लिए, फंडिंग का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन वहाँ की जो व्यवस्था है वो ठीक तरह से करने के लिए लोकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने ज़्यादा ध्यान देना है। लेकिन हम संपर्कित है और ये जल्दी से जल्दी पीछे जो ताजमहल के पीछे जो जगह है, यहाँ तो रश होती है, यहाँ ज़्यादा लोग अंदर नहीं छोड़ते, तो पूरा जो मेहताब गार्डन है वो लोगों के व्यूअर के लिए वह हम ओपन करेंगे। दूसरा जो गार्डन है वहाँ गार्डन का फिर एक बार वो गार्डन अच्छी तरह से गार्डन करके, कॉरिडोर है वो पूरा ग्रीन करके लोगों को वहाँ से भी सब कुछ देखने के लिए करें, ये ऐसा प्लान बना हुआ है। और इसलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट से थोड़ा सा हमको, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने वो कॉरिडोर के थोड़ा सा उसका अटकाव था, वो हम कोर्ट में जाके वो भी ऑर्डर ले लेंगे, वो हम ठीक तरह से डेवलप करने के लिए। लेकिन स्टेप्स चल रहा है और जल्दी से जल्दी आपको फर्क दिखेगा।
सर, मेरा नाम अमोल गोस्वामी है, दैनिक जनमभूमि। सर, मेरा 2 सवाल है। एक, शिलोंग में जो इंटरनेशनल मार्ट होगा इसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल्स बताइए। और दूसरा क्वेश्चन है, वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट के लिए माजुली का नाम भेजा गया था, इसके बारे में स्टेटस क्या है, थोड़ा बताइए।
माजुली आसाम आइलैंड है।
माजुली का एक्चुअली इट हैड गॉन फॉर नॉमिनेशन ऑन द वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज लिस्ट, फिर वो उन्होंने कुछ आपत्ति के साथ वापस किया है। वो हमने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि वो जो आपत्तियां हैं, क्योंकि डॉसियर उन्हीं को बनाना है, वो जल्दी उसका जवाब दे। माननीय मंत्री जी ने भी अपनी ओर से एक पत्र मुख्यमंत्री जी असम को लिखा है।
सर, टूरिज्म का मैं दे देता हूँ सर। वो शिलोंग में जो है ये हमारा तीसरा इंटरनेशनल टूरिज्म मार्ट है, और ये गवर्नमेंट की लुक ईस्ट पॉलिसी के तहत हम कर रहे हैं। कि लुक ईस्ट के 2 मतलब हैं, एक है लुक टुवर्ड्स द ईस्ट ऑफ इंडिया, दूसरा है लुक टुवर्ड्स द ईस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, कि साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, ईस्ट एशिया के कंट्रीज के लोगों को बुलाइए और उनको दिखाइए कि हमारे नॉर्थ ईस्ट में क्या क्या खजाने हैं, क्या क्या ट्रेजर्स हैं। और उसमें हमारा एक फॉर्मूला बन चुका है कि हर कंट्रीज से अच्छा, फिर नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज ने कहा सिर्फ साउथ ईस्ट एशिया से हमें मत बुलाइए, आप अमेरिका, इंग्लैंड, जर्मनी, फ्रांस, स्पेन से भी बुलाइए। तो हमने उनकी बात मान ली कि while the basic thrust is on East Asia and Southeast Asia, 4 or 5 of the biggest markets including Australia and New Zealand, उनके तरफ से हम 2 तरह के लोगों को बुलाते हैं, ट्रैवल एजेंट्स एंड टूर ऑपरेटर्स इंक्लूडिंग एडवेंचर टूरिज्म वाले, और दूसरा पत्रकार, मीडिया वाले, वहां से बुलाते हैं, आओ शिलोंग देखो, गुवाहाटी देखो, तवांग देखो। और जब वो मार्ट खत्म हो जाएगा, मार्ट तो 3 ही दिन का होगा, जब मार्ट खत्म हो जाएगा तो बाकी 8, हम कुल मिला के 9 नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स को लेते हैं। 9th में हमारा मतलब दार्जिलिंग की तरफ है, तो सिक्किम तो इज प्रॉपर नॉर्थ ईस्ट, हम दार्जिलिंग को भी इंक्लूड करते हैं। 8 देखिए 7 इंक्लूडिंग 8 सिक्किम, 9 दार्जिलिंग, हम दार्जिलिंग सिलीगुड़ी को भी लेते हैं। और फिर हम कहते हैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से कि ये लोग पूरे विदेशों से आए हैं, आप इनमें से चयन करो, 3 को वेस्ट बंगाल आप ले जाओ, 2 को नागालैंड ले जाए, एक 2 को मणिपुर ले जाए, इस तरह वो अपने अपने स्टेट्स ले जाते हैं, जिसकी रुचि जिस तरफ होती है वो जीप में ले जाते हैं और दिखाते हैं.
So you want to ask a question? Yeah. Please speak in the mic. Yeah.
My name is Biju. I am from PTI, Press Trust of India. The government's, sir, Kerala's new liquor policy has, reports suggest that it has affected the tourism sector of the state. So, what is the role of liquor in attracting tourists?
हमने तो बोला है, हो गया यार, थोड़ा 1-2 महीना दे दो देखने के लिए हमें, और ये हमारा विषय तो स्टेट का विषय है.
No, this is, the reports are suggesting that the Kerala's tourism sector is, it is one of the biggest economy. It is heavily hit because of the government's decision to ban liquor industry. So, my question is whether the liquor has any role in attracting tourists.
It's an optional subject. You cannot force anybody not to take or not to take like that. Liquor policy हमारे इसमें नहीं आती. Excise department. Thank you.
So I thank the Honorable Minister for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to you also for being here and giving your attention and energy.